I don't understand. I absolutely don't understand how the Twitch thingy is telling me that the stream is unstable. Has been telling me that since Tuesday last week. But overall, the bitrate is extremely stable, and yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense to me. But other than that, hi. Welcome on in. How are you? How have you been? How was your weekend? All the questions that I will repeat 20 times in the beginning.
Atacamba Caxes just resubscribed for 6 months. 6 months.
6 months. That is a long ass time. Thanks a lot for the resub. I appreciate it. How are you? How was your weekend? All these questions. How is the investment going? I feel like I need to be more lit for some reason. That doesn't help. Exhausting with the investment or exhausting with the weekend? Or both? And both can happen. I'm trying to make sure that we have everything set up as always. Oh, that's nice. I mean, that's nice. That's good. I don't know if it's nice, but at least it's something. So we have, yeah, all of that. Basically need some work. But yeah. I mean, is it a good project? Do you enjoy working for it or with it, or? I mean, you should, but sometimes we don't. A Figma plugin, that's good. Is it like a personal project? I mean, you said I've got a project as a freelancer, so I guess it's not like the personal project, but also it's for Figma, so I don't know. It could be a personal project. Yeah, stream is still deemed unstable for some reason. I don't understand. Nishit, hi. So if you're at the start, I guess you can't tell me what it's about. Which, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So, officially, we have nothing planned for today, right? Officially, that's the thing. And officially, I need to work on a logo for my company. So, not my personal company, but in the company that I'm working at. We are currently using 3 different logos. So, in terms of unification, that's no good. And so we're thinking maybe it could be interesting for everyone to have like my process of thinking on how I do logo design when I need to do that, and what goes in, like thinking about logo design. So we may do that. That's option number one. Option number two, as always, if you have any question, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer. Yeah, let me
play 21 just subscribed.
Why? You use your Prime on me. Appreciate it. How are you? Thanks a lot for the resub. I mean, it's not a resub, by the way. It's a first sub. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Well, I appreciate your attitude of helping this way. Thanks a lot. We've seen you around multiple times, so yeah, I hope you're good. How was your weekend? How is everything going on your side? So as a fielder, right? My company is Brainit, the first one, and we have two distinctive products, crowdsourcing and workflow. And so right now the visual logos that we're using, I feel overblown with the camera, but that's fine. The overall logo that we're using are these two, and most of the thing, sorry for the flashbang here, but they are on white background, 8 and high, or gone in. So the visibility of them is no issue. That's the first thing. However, the current state of I think it's it's not semi-bold, I think it's bold, but
my name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everybody calls me Giorgio.
Really hungry hedgehog. Well, come on in. That's a long ass. That was a long ass sound. How are you? Is it vacation day already? I was thinking about. You said vacation, 7 days. What do you mean cancelled? Thank you for the first check. Oh fuck! I'm sorry. That is not good. You shouldn't have. I mean, you may have no choice. It's a French man. Sorry. I mean, you know what? I don't know what you do for a living, which I believe is not related to design. So, is it a matter of if you're not there, the company's dead, or is it a matter of they will struggle, but they will be fine, in which case vacation should have been not cancelled? But I'm sorry to hear that. That's internally pissing me off. I mean, you already spend millions for living in here, so I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, as a manager, like logistic and procurement manager, you are in a position that is required in a way. So I do understand the needs, but still, I am pissed on your behalf. Aiden, you did a ton of stuff this weekend. Also, this website is very simple, so that's good. And I see you're using your profile picture as your fav icon. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice.
Womp womp. 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 Womp womp.
Thank you for the womp womp.
Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think they will know from the fav icon. However, from the Instagram, yes. And you know what? It could help you with the employment. I appreciate it. It could help you with the employment. Like, for example, I know that it could. How can I say that? As a French person, some hiring managers, I would say, have a thing for people who can drink a bit and have like a beer after work with the rest of the team. And so having, even though it's not like showcasing your ability, right, to drink, but it's just like, well, this person likes beer, so it could be a benefit in some cases, but I don't know. That's a very different overall subject for sure. Like, the pub is a very, very different place compared to the French thing. Have a good work session, Atakan. Thanks a lot for stopping by. If you're lurking, have a good lurk. If I do that, that's not good. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so to explain a bit of my thinking right now, because that was the main goal of what I wanted to potentially do today. So Brainit, which is our first logo right here, is our company. Like, that's the name of the company itself. And then the two, crowdsourcing and workflow, are both of our products. And as you can see, I just reused the Brainit because we say to clients Brainit Workflow and Brainit Crowdsourcing as the names of the product. However, what I don't like about these is the fact that the font is just a font, in which case it's not exactly a logo per se. So what I kind of want to do today is some type of, not review, but kind of review to make sure that these are okay, and like do a bit of logo design. So in the way that I work for logo creation, which is similar to other things, we tend, and that's a bit of a weird thing, we tend to try to align the logos together, meaning that the baseline on both should probably be at the same placement, right? However, because of the way that the letters are, if I am to align the workflow ones with this one, well, it's just it's a 3 pixel difference. But that means, physically speaking, inside of that frame, we have 3 pixel more of space at the bottom. which is fucked because of the G at the end. That's the only reason why we have this misalignment, and that's pissed me off. But also, we kind of have no choice. So one of the things that I usually do when I'm trying to find a logo or design something that makes sense for a company is define the characteristic of said company. So let's do that, just so we have a base thing.
ITSMAADLOU is now following.
Madlu? Well, come on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? I hope you're good. The usual thing. But yeah, who are you is the most... Not the most important question. Most important question is, how did you find the stream? Mad Lou. Your name doesn't ring a bell, so I don't know if I know you somewhere, from somewhere. I don't think so. But yeah, welcome on in, nonetheless. Nonetheless, welcome on in. So, crowdsourcing is the name of the product currently, and so crowdsourcing is based on the word crowdfunding or crowdfunding, depending on how you want to pronounce that. And it is things like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, not GoFundMe, but kind of like crowdfunding, right? Is the idea of funding things together, and crowdsourcing is the name of the product, is getting ideas together. So it's not funding, it's not funds, but right, that's the thing. So there is like this sentiment of community or crowd, and that could be interesting. So let's just type crowd for now. And so you said you're a designer, looking for graphic designer streams. Well, we are not a lot, but happy to have you here. As always, depending on where you are in your design career and what you want to do, and like if you are a beginner, not a beginner, whichever is the case, if you have any question about anything design related or not design related, feel free to ask them in chat. I will do my best to answer you. And yeah, we help here. That's the main goal of these streams. I'm doing stuff, but if you can derail me on helping you on something else, I would rather do that. So there is the crowdsourcing, there is the IDs behind the base of the thing, and there is also I kind of want to have some Aiden, you should create your icons when that happens. I know it's a bit complicated, but when that happens, I can show you if you want. And also, which icons do you need, or which representation icons do you need? Because we may have something. Because you said I'm looking for icons from the Akara icon pack, and what is Keybase? That would be my question. What is Keybase? What does it mean? What are you looking for? Are you looking for this? Like, what icon are you looking for? So you're basically trying to get this logo icon right here as an icon, right? So that didn't work. It's that their thing. Currently it's oh shit, it's a pixelated, not so good logo, if I do say so myself. While we are on the topic of logo design, there is a lot of issues, but it's basically the outline that you need, and well, they don't have like an SVG based in there. So one thing that you could do, right, is recreate this in Figma directly. So I know that's not exactly the thing that you know how to do yet, but at some point, right, you will have to. So doing like a base potato and somehow right, and that could be your base, overall base. It's no shit. That doesn't look good. You could do that. I don't recommend it. It's just mostly a waste of time, and also you never get the exact same thing, so it looks similar but it's not good. And then after that, this is very, how can I say that? This is very specific. So for you to have the ability to take that logo and turn it into an icon, they should have, usually they do have something in the documentation, but I mean, doesn't seems to have anything related to a press kit in any way, shape or form right there. So they do have a fav icon that looks better than the basic. If I do that, I don't think it's in the head, right? If I remember correctly, fav icon is in the head. Yeah, and it's an SVG. So you have this as an SVG in the fav icon. You could reuse that because even though not that clean, it's already what they use. So just drop that in the Discord that you have access to it. But Ashley, hi, how are you? How have you been? I mean, how have you been? You've been in the sun, I know that. How are you? How was your weekend? We've been testing filters on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. I guess Aiden. I guess that's the best thing you. Of course, I saw it. I mean, you used one of the not weirdest, but most that may crash the stream. But like, you use one of the where is it? You use this one, which is I saw you go with this one, which works so fine, right? Like it's a bit much, but it works so fine. I don't really. I mean, they did a good job. They did a great job. Compared to this one, because this one is okay, right? But I don't know. Yeah, that's the Peter one. Peter is fine, but no, the crying is just. It's amazing. It's like compared to the other ones, it's just one of the best things that they created. I mean, we have a lot of other filters that work well, but yeah, there's this one that just popped in today with this one, which could replace things, right? That's pretty clean. Overall, I don't like the bob, but I do like the hair clip. So, yeah. And then there is this one that does nothing because I don't have enough hair. And I need to be here to have enough hair. But still, same shit. But I feel you. When you have new filters, of course we go and we try all the filters. That's what we did. So, and yeah, there are a lot of bad news. I agree. We had the elections for the government composition during the weekend, and we got 98 equivalent to senators, not exactly senators, but like elected representative from the most racist, homophobic, and like overall bad part of the potential parties. 98 out of, I forgot, I think it's like 200 or 300. I absolutely have no clue, but yeah, it's just so weird. So the elections for the president is something that happens, and then you have the election for the government compositions, which is basically the president is defining who he wants or they want in the entourage as elected people around them, and then about months after, basically, or 2 months after, the people of the country define who they want to have in the government themselves. And so it's just like making the president work for nothing, and then breaking everything he made to make sure that nothing passed, or that the government itself has like some laws and push for some beneficial things for the country and for the people of the country. So the one that we wanted to elect, or at least my generation, and the one that we wanted to elect is mostly the party that is pretty much into saving the planet in a way, and making sure that all people are equal and treated equally, equally as in well treated equally, not just badly treated equally, because that's also an option with the other side. But yeah, so we got 128 seats, right? Which is pretty okay. But yeah, it doesn't look bad, no. I mean, it looks so I guess it's these. Which one is the right one that I want to see right there? I want to see the right one, the one that's easy to read, please. I guess this one is 20 hours ago, so we're good. So basically we have 577 seats, which is, I said 300, but no, it's like more like 600. In these 600s, the orange yellowish ones are the ones that are related to the political party of the current president. So still have 234 of the people that basically are aligned with them. However, when you compare that to the previous year, you see that it's reducing drastically. They lost like 140 or 110 seats for the same party, so that's interesting. However, on the extreme right, which is the racist party, like that's the racist nationalist, that's the name. It's not the name, but it's like basically the name. They went from 8 seats to 90, so that's a lot, and that's a bit scary. Not too much, but a bit scary. However, on the other side, we went from 10 to 141, meaning that we gained 130 seats for this one that is mainly for the climate and for most of the thing that our generation is kind of fighting for. So like equality in climate, that's the two main what can I say, topics that they want to hit. So basically we have 141 votes that so that's pretty cool. However, the main thing that is annoying is the only like 160 votes here that would be basically locked and assured every time we have a climate or equality law that needs to pass. We also have the rest that will be against it. So in order to have 50% of the seats, we basically need 50% here, which can happen from time to time because this one is still left. I mean, it's rightish left. It's a bit weird. It's not center. I'm not very into politics. I am, but not exactly. I don't know. When I'm saying that is like I have convictions, but I don't know politics parties and what they represent, as well as I know Figma layers. right? So, you can feel that. But yeah, so we have all of these that are against Europe. So these ones are the one that wants to get out of Europe and do a Brexit for France. So they're like, we haven't looked at the at what's happening in the UK, and we can't see that it's no good, right? We just say we just want out and independence. That's all that we want, but we don't know why. But that's all that we want. And then they also want to get rid of any person that is not French. That's these ones. Malta is not. No. I think Malta is. Malta is not coarse. Is it? It's more Italian than Corsica, right? La Corse, yes, but it's debatable for Corsica to be French. I mean, they don't want to. I don't know why we kept it though. It's not Italian, but it's more Italian than French, I guess. But also, I don't know shit about Malta. Yeah. Corsica just want to be independent, and they don't. I mean, I think they want to be independent for the sake of being independent, but in real life, they don't really want to. But also just because they are like reactionist, they want to. But as soon as they become independent, they will die instantly. That's the thing. I wish it happens. I mean, like I'm happy that the Brexit happened. In a way, it's like just making sure that people understand the benefits that they had before, and if they didn't see them beforehand, then they lose them, and then they cry because they didn't understand the benefits. So it's sad for the people who didn't want to leave, but I think it's a great thing. Stony, hi. I mean, I'm not a fan either, but I think if people want to die, they should. So I'm like, and if it's tied to a vote, and the vote is like, well, we leave, then just assume the vote. I don't know. It's going great. It's going great. This is really Darwinian theory. I agree. But going back to this, right? Here these people want to get rid of anyone that is not French. So if you like, it's basically if your parents are not French, then you should go back to the country that was related to your parents, right? So parents, great-grandparents, basically. So 3 generations above. If you're not French, pure French breed, then you shouldn't stay in the country that is named France, which is great for me because I am not 100% French, and that would give me a real reason to just move away legally. So that's a good thing. But they also have some of the saddest truth of, because they want to have only French, they also hunt and sometimes kill some of the non-French people, which is why we don't like them most of the time. So we don't understand how in 5 years we went from 8 from these groups to 90. That makes absolutely no sense. But that's like a bit scary. That's also like, when I'm, as a French person, when I'm telling you, and I know that really Angry Hedgehog tells you the same thing without really telling you the same thing. When I'm telling you that most of the French people are racist, it's not just me being like, well, they're racist. No, it's like, sadly, they are. And yeah, so this is the side that we don't really like. This one in the center is okay, ish, depends. So the orange side will be, because it's like tied to the current president, it's okay. However, they are very for capitalism and companies, and like big companies making a lot of profits, and because of that, sadly, everything that is climate oriented is a bit skewed for the same reason, right? Because, well, big companies don't really have any positive impact on the climate, and taking care of not destroying the earth is not ROI positive. So of course we are like a bit against here, but they are, I'd say maybe 45 to 50% of them that are more climate oriented and earth saving than the other ones, so that's okay. But still, that's just, we will have 5 more years of fighting for things, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really like the fact that we have, the fact that we have all of these parties, because, well, I don't exactly know how to explain this, but it's, one will say something, the other one will say no. And then, because this one will say no, even though these ones have said yes or no in the beginning, because these one will say no, then this one will say yes, meaning that they will have votes from everywhere, in which case it will go through. And the opposite exists as well, right? So sometimes you have these ones that say yes, and then these ones that say yes, so these one will say no, but that's a positive thing overall, so it go through. It's just like, some parties are just confrontational, if I can say that. Like, they just want to fight. It's no good. It's not a good idea. So yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, I do understand. I do understand why most women wants to stay away from politics and religions, and anything that can be, how can I say that? It's not controversial, but it's like controversial topics, for the reason being, if I'm saying something that is not aligned with your politic values or politic views, then I, as the streamer, will lose a viewer. But personally, if I'm saying something that doesn't align with you, or you are not agreeing with me, and you don't have the ability to explain why, and your like direct reaction is to live, I'm like, well, I'm better off without you. So I do prefer to speak about the topics that are important to me, in a way. But politics is not really one of them. It's just like we had this happen during the weekend, and because Ashley said all the bad things happening, this is a bad thing happening. Yeah, Aiden, we know we don't have the same political views. We had some debates before, and you're still here. I don't know why, but you're still here. And I appreciate that. I don't give a shit about politics. However, I give a shit about how people are treated. And some of these are not treating people correctly. So... But in the second part of your sentence, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. One thing that happens... Where did I put that? Did I put that in... I may have it somewhere. One of the videos I saw was around... Did I save it? I may have saved it. Did I? I didn't know. I think it was in here. It's in there. Exactly on point, on time. So, right. So this is... I do know your IDs. So this is the votes. When you take in consideration everyone who didn't vote or like voted like white. I don't exactly know how it's called. However, this is how it went during the weekend when they unveil the numbers. And so if you count the people that didn't vote, 50 Kane, welcome on in. 57.3% of people who were registered on the list to vote didn't vote. So the numbers that are left are basically on 40% of the population, meaning that the composition of the government is based on the voices of 40% of the population that can vote. So when you think about this, it's like, this is bullshit. And right, how the media are telling you the numbers, they're like, well, this one won at 38%, when in reality it's like just 16% overall when you take into consideration these ones. So if you don't really care about anyone but your own image, I don't give a fuck about you. Well, I mean, this is Brut, which is the French kinda okay thing. I don't exactly know if I trust everything that they say, but they are pretty good. Yeah, Stony, that's a bit different. The thing is, technically speaking, you shouldn't care about anyone else. Like, you should care about yourself, make sure that yourself is okay, and then if that was the case for everyone, we would be in a very, like, in a much better place, right? So, because that's the main issue, right? Because most people at some point in history decided that skin color, physical appearance, genitals, and languages, because they were not exactly the same as themselves, then there was discrimination against these things. And so, because of the fact that people care about other people, we have discrimination, which is a bit weird to say, but it's kind of true. And then now, because most people care about everything and nothing at the same time, like, someone said something 5 years ago that now they don't say anymore, but because it was said by these people, then we have beef with them, with weird thing on the internet. Like, there is a bit of a weird thing. So I don't exactly, I would say if you only, trying to phrase myself properly because I don't have the words in, like, the proper ones. If you only care about yourself, you should be good. If you only care about how you are perceived, you're not very good. However, if you care about others, in a discriminatory way, that's not good. However, if you care about others in an empathic way, it's okay. So, like, there are behaviors that we deem good, but maybe they are not. And there are behaviors that we deem bad, but maybe they are not. And I don't have any examples of things. But that can happen. You can see that in different parts of the world where things are absolutely the opposite of where you are, and the perceived behavior is better. But also, I would say some countries that are extremely discriminatory against women would maybe, in a general public type of way, not see how another country that is not discriminatory against women would be beneficial for them, because they have never seen something that is not discriminatory against women, right? I don't really have, have some ideas of locations that have these things, but not exact, pinpoint things that are extremely right. So I don't really know. If you talk shit about my bag, that means that you envy me, which I'm fine with, right? It's just, either your self-esteem is so low that you need to reinforce your self-esteem by shitting on others, either while they are here or when they are not there, or your self-esteem is so low that the mere no just my existence threatens you, in which case you need to talk shit. So I don't know. Yeah, that's true. But Aiden, you're tall, so I would I would understand. I mean, at least you seem tall to me on pictures. I don't know if you're tall. I think you are. I think you are. Like, I would be so small next to you for sure. Ah, not so tall, but still taller than me. Yeah. Way taller than me. Yeah, I mean, I thought as well, even though we don't know the metric system around here, but yeah. So yeah, and then there are other bad things that happen in the world right now that I don't know if you've seen, sadly, but there are things that are still happening and we don't talk about it anymore because, well, people are not interested anymore, or it's not as newsworthy, which is very interesting. I'm looking at the logo at the same time that I'm trying to speak, which doesn't help. I'm seeing this, and that's pissing me off so bad. Like, this is absolutely bad. Like, basically, this is the hole that is going here, and then when you take it there, it's the same width, but it's not the same height, and if you turn it, it's not a line. So I'm like, ugh, it's not good. When you look at it, like the C, the O, the D have the same eye or opening, and then here is like just it's tiny. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but you have O's, and O's have more of a rounded shape, right? Like it used to have the exact same opening, just in a smaller overall way. So that made more sense. However, I do understand here, like that's a G, and you can't, I mean, you could have the G based on the O, but that makes no sense. But yeah, this is so weird. But also I understand the creation. I mean, there is so much stuff in this one that makes a lot of sense to me as a designer, and without really looking at it in another like placement, like this is so okay for me. And let me see, can I do that? Damn, that's big. So the placement that we have, right, in shit. the placement that we have here which is shit. I'm almost right, almost on point, but that's fine. The thing that happened is the opening that is here is, I mean, that's what they say. I don't exactly know if that's the truth or not. I guess it is, but this is like the eyeball in the, I mean, yeah, it's the eyeball, and that's the field of view, and because you're looking at things, it's not centered, like your overall like viewpoint starting around here rather than at the center of your eyeball, right? So that's one of the reasons why it's off center, and that just create the iris portion right there, and then you can see from the iris. So that's a interesting thing. Also, it's a mix and match with most of the icon that they have, as in, or had at the time, which, for example, they had the Hangout, or I forgot which one it is called, the Google camera thingy. It was on top, this one right here, and so this angle right here is just a reversed version right there. And so that's one of the other thing that they said. Have a good workout. It's leg day again. If I remember, let me check. I am currently unsure, so we'll just. Damn! Every time I copy a thing, it's fucking bigger than the previous one. Just want to make sure. Is that our same angle? It's not. Interesting. Do we match the angle? We don't. Do we match the angle here? What the fuck is happening right here? I don't understand this fucking thing. Sometimes we do we do match. Okay, so this angle is here basically, and then it's reversed in the center, I guess. It's around here. It's not exactly right. I think it's just me like aligning them that wasn't absolutely true. And then the thing that I said was these, with this opening, I think, if I remember correctly, that's what they said. So it may be true, it may not be true. Seems okay. You did. No, I know it's not symmetrical, but that's why I'm just making sure that this is not. This is. It's not. Interesting. I had like a memory of this being related to that specific thing, but it seems not to be the case, or it seems to not be the case. I don't know how I can say that. I have this as a memory. It seems I was wrong, which is good. It's fine. it's fine to be wrong from time to time. Or specifically, it's fine to be wrong often. And then the rest is okay. They are just different. It's based on this one, right? The angle is based on this one, and it's just weird that it's not hammed this way. And then because it's not a circle, that makes a lot of sense as well. So for anyone who doesn't know, what Stony is referring is this. Right? It's more flat right there. That absolutely makes no sense. It's not that much though, compared to some of the previous images that we had. But still, I don't know. At least the center, as they say, the center part is a circle, so that's interesting. And I don't know if I like this. You know what? I don't think I do like this one. Like the fact that this is crossing in the center right here, right? What they say is the case, right? Center, what they have currently, aligning everything. I don't think it's a good idea overall, because if you had this and you think about the color scheme that needs to happen, this tiny triangle right there should be green, and this tiny triangle right here should be red, just for accuracy's sake, because it's just like it's a 4 slice pizza with 4 different colors, in which case you should have the colors that matches. So I mean, that makes sense here because you cut them in a way, but then even there, this is not making any sense. Nonetheless. Going back to our regularly programmed thing. So we have crowdsourcing, which is based on IDs and crowd. And we have workflow, which is based on portfolio, and then project, and innovation. That's our 3 base, I would say. Like we are piloting project portfolio for innovative projects. That is the main base here. One of the things I don't like is the fact that this font, as I just said earlier, is not really good looking. Have a good coffee. However, if I go to black, which is I think better, I lose a lot of, not details, but kind of details. And I don't I should even do that, because this is like current. This is basically what I have today. Right, yeah. So this is current, this is removed. I do love this one, and because I want to move some of my typography style in the style guide to this one, that could be interesting. But I'm also thinking about switching fonts for the entire company, which, right, would be interesting. So let's firstly go for enter just to check if we have the option. That's black, this one is extra bold. Let's go for bold. That doesn't match. Absolutely doesn't match. However, the flex that's not the viable font that I wanted to see. That's so neat. The ability to do that, it's so cool. That's not what we wanted. What type of font? That's the thing. So right now, right, because we have our basic meanings, I would say, on crowdsourcing, even though we don't need to work on crowdsourcing now, specifically because the fucking thing is huge and we don't have that space. So for now, I'm thinking about portfolio, project, and innovation. The basic thing that I want to do when I'm creating a logo, which is the thing that I wanted to talk about, sadly, Aiden is now in the shower, but is what defines the feeling that you want to convey when the logo is seen, when the logo is said or described, and what type of, how can I say that? What type of association will the people do in their brain? So, as always, Pinterest, great resource. I said that last time, but right now we are a startup that wants to become like a company. I mean, not wants to become, but needs to have more. I wouldn't say we need to have more trust. We just need to be perceived as trustworthy. So we need something that is sharp-ish, which is similar to Montserrat, which is the font that was used until now. That's a good, I'm seeing typography posters, that's a good reference. However, I want to look for startup UI design. Then we may need like a dash. In here. But right now I'm looking for startups designs, meaning any companies that is young and attractive in a way. That's what I will expect, like how I would explain it. And I'm not looking for anything specific, I'm just looking for a feeling of. So right now, as you can see, there is absolutely nothing on this page. Let's scroll a bit more. So from what I'm seeing, we have a lot of colors, a lot of whites, a lot of uneven illustrations, not straight, interestingly enough. A lot of rounded corners, pastel colors, bold colors, a lot of colors. A lot of colors when you type this, and that's UI design. And then if you go here and you get rid of UI design, and maybe you like startup, I don't know, and then here just the word startup itself is associated with a lot of things, and so I can do the same exercise. I have this one, which is bold, very bold in terms of red and white, and then everything is path to startup. So, oh, I made a mistake in my typography. I said strat and not start because I'm a dumbass and I can't type. Good. I think that was the mistake before as well. My dyslexia was taking over. That's good. So same thing. A lot of path, a lot of like processes that I can see. More like dull colors, like grey, less bright colors than before. Overall, there are still some bright spots here and there, but overall, this is very organized and processed. So let's go for startup design. This is cool. Let me click on that one. Alright, this one was sharp, this one is rounded. Same thing, a lot of colors. A lot of rounded shapes here and there that I can see, so that's interesting. And then once I have like a good feel of the space, the current space, and that's just Pinterest, I'll just add the tiny word in the middle, which is logo design. And so right here, I will have a feel of most of the newest trends logo that happens, and you will see a very distinctive pattern for sure. So the first one that I can see in this first fucking row is startups are blue and purple. So purple and blue, purple and blue, purple and blue, 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 purple, blue, purple. This is a dark blue. So right from startup logos, we are purple and blue. So I do like the fact that I want to go with green, because currently we are a purple and blue gradient type of thing. So that's right. Getting away from this is interesting. However, from the tweet that I sent on the Discord, this color right here, this green of one kit, is the newest trendy version of startups. Most new companies are using a variation of this specific green. Our current product, specifically workflow, is based on green, and crowdsourcing is based on purple. So this is our main colors for crowdsourcing. The main color for the other one is or used to be this one a bit brighter. It used to be around here, which aligns with the new trends, right? But it has been this color for the past 4 years almost. So I'm trying to break from that a bit. However, I'm working on this one, new brand colors, typography, everything, which is exactly the current trend, right? So if it loads, thank you. Right, this would be a very black and white overall design, where here and there you have extremely bright elements, which could be very interesting, but also can be very usable overall. So that's something that I need to work on to make sure that it's a thing or not a thing. But I'm trying to make the fonts bigger and make the color that we are working with this bright ass green, which is electric green. I would say neon green. And sadly, as I said, this green is basically the new trend. So I'm kind of pissed that it's the new trend, but also I can't really find a better option that is associated with the thing that we do. So in terms of, and now that's like speaking about or talking about color theories and how, that's interesting. That's an interesting logo right there. Like how some colors are perceived with some people. So blue is most trustworthy. That's indeed not a good thing to see, but I guess that's just sub files and cache files. But yeah, so blue is a very trustworthy color. Purple is a very brain-related color, like thinking and science is purple, associated with purple. Everything that is like clean and I don't want to say that, but also trustworthy is green. And that's one of the reasons why most the trends right now, because we had this long ass period of untrusty or non-trustable companies that came out and became popular and then died instantly. We are trying to gain back trust, so I don't want to go blue because blue is really associated with something else in our product, and I do like to have, or I would like to have, like a very bright ass color. So something like this one, right? This green is interesting to me. This green as well is really interesting to me, because it was the one we had before, but from what I see, we have a lot of red and orange and a lot of blue and purple. These are the colors that are related to startups at the moment. So that is Pinterest. And so once you've done this on Pinterest and you have, sorry, what? This is a logo I designed. What? Okay. I didn't know that a logo that I designed was in an article of the 15 best logo of 2022. That is okay. Let me check that, because I need a bit of ego boost right now. That's like this one. Yeah, I like this one. This one is too used, that's okay. Interesting. So yeah, there is like 4 logos that I like with it. So they say it's a tourist app into games. Yes, fox face, perfectly symmetrical and featureless, so that it looks more like a logo than an illustration. That's exactly what I try to do. Good. So then, cheeky business name Foxy places the value of fun and playfulness in the core of their brand and identity. With the color orange as color of psychology can tell us reinforce these values with its cheerfulness and freshness. In addition, the gradient used for shading gives the logo a three-dimensional effect, making it come to life. That's a very interesting explanation for what I did at the time, but yeah. It's not exactly true, but it's also kind of true. If I remember correctly, what happened is because the game, this is a game, because the game at the time was using the location a lot. We used the base of the location pin to define this center shape, and then we stretched it out to make sure that it looks like a fox. And at the time, which this logo is from 2015, end of 2015, 2016, something like this. The trend at the time was really origami folded paper logos, and so it's interesting that a logo from 2015 end up on an article that is called "The Tech Startup Logos to Check Out in 2022," because that's like a long ass time in between the two. But yeah, that's neat. I need to save that in my logo design, because that's me. I did that. Interesting ego boost. And then here I clicked on this one for fonts, mainly to see what are currently trendy. As you can see, potentially you have a lot of play with viable fonts, which are extremely trendy at the moment, but also extremely useful overall. A lot of tall ass fonts and a lot of bold ass font, so it matches with what I want to have. And I'm thinking at the moment it could be really interesting to go with a fully capped out font. Let's see, can I do that? It could be really interesting if we went for that, and then maybe play with the kerning right there. If we go with 0, that means that the overall thing needs to be like way bigger. But I also like this as an overall design choice. I think that's better than the previous options. Right. If you put both of them next to each other. I prefer this one. However, it's less readable if it's on a tiny overall size. And less readable is a bit of a... That's where you can play with the kerning on another side. I like caps. Yep, that makes sense. So doing so would mean I can keep the same font for now and use the capped version just to check And we could also, no, I was about to say we could also go for a thinner thing. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. However, this logo right here is 40 in height, meaning that that could happen. I mean, the overall frame, outer frame, is 40 in height and needs to kind of stay 40. So let's just add the frame outline so that we can see some of these. And then what I want to do is just have a similar-ish space top and bottom. That makes it a tad bit the same width as the previous one, so a bit longer potentially. I don't know if I want to keep the dot at the end, and so that's an option. I think that's better than these ones, but that's debatable as always. But that matches with everything else that we see, so we have a lot of these. There is also other things that I'd love to play with. So something similar to this, I would love to play with the idea of a line-based font. Because workflow is, even though it is a portfolio-based product, we also create workflows, as the name implies, so processes and workflows, meaning that having a line base for, well, the flow of something could be pretty interesting overall. And so that could be just a simple like pattern on top. Right, not exactly this one, but it could be a simple pattern on top that create the lines. It could be a font that has lines inside of it, and it could also be just a play with something else like these, even though this is more like a poster type of thing, which makes sense because we are in a poster section or categories. And I also do love these posters and fonts. But I need to think about not a poster, just a logo. So it needs to be understandable from far away and recognizable from far away as well. And I said the same thing last time. No medieval song, for fuck's sake. Even though this one is a bit medieval or epic, it's fine. So there is a lot of duplicates. That's my stuff. This is interesting. Is this in here? It's in here. So if you don't know, alright, that send me back to Pinterest. How the fuck is that an option? If you don't know, this image right here not to brag. This is, I think that's the day. Today is the day. So that's interesting. in terms of design. I guess this one is the original picture, but that's I wish I could see the thing that is just behind the L. If I could, it would be much better. But yeah, that's interesting. That is an interesting choice. So yeah, something like this. I don't think it's a good idea. I also thought about getting rid of a lot of stuff in terms of letters. So, let's see. Right, as a logo, as a thing that could be present at the top of a website, we could minimize the amount of letters that are used in order to just play with something. Meaning, and that's a me thing, I'd say. But with these letters, because it's a 6 base, you can do a lot of interesting patterns. And so going back to what I said earlier about how the fuck do I organize or decide how I want like my design to be when I create a logo, sometimes it's just things like this, making sure that the overall, like, not design, but like that the use case is an option. So let's do this. I have a thing for vertical weirdly aligned things, so that could really be an option. So that's weird. It's not good. I don't like the fact that I can't align both of them and then the rest is not aligned. So that's interesting. So what I'm thinking right now when I'm looking at this is the overall like design right here is I can easily see the use case of these. That music is too epic for that logo design. That's not what we want to listen to. This could really be useful for something like a pattern, for example. So let's say you have this, and then place these right in that manner. So you can see how like easily you can create like a pattern with these types of of shapes, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's just like making connection and making sure that you have things that work. What I'm seeing right now, which is something that I didn't see before, is the overall shape that is in the middle. So you have a thing that I will try to get to work in a certain way. Right, that's basically what I'm seeing, and so I'm seeing a stack of these, which right now don't align. But this thing right here, specifically when you have 3 of them, is usually, I mean, it's already used for a lot of companies' logo. However, they also have from time to time like a fill, and it is usually like this. It's usually like this, and this one is somewhere around 20%, and this one is somewhere around 40%. And then these have... This music is too epic for everything. You could have like a bit of a blur if you wanted to. I don't think that's a good idea overall. That will never be a good idea, to be honest. Blur and logo is never a good idea. But you can have something like this that just give you a sense of layering and potentially processes. But that's also a sense of 3D, which I don't know if I like in that type of design. But based on these patterns, that's a very easy thing. You can also potentially flip them and have something like this. However, the W is not good. Welcome back, Hayden. Right, this is interesting, but also have it I mean, with that font we need like a monospace. Somehow Roboto Mono could help just to align things. Even though I don't really like the font itself, I have to say it's a pretty useful font. Oh shit, that was a good idea. So let's do that. That's 14. Let's do 14 here as well. If I do that, that's not a good idea. So I like that, but that's a very... Scott, hi, welcome on in. How are you? I'm also hot at the moment. Let me put on the fan. A bit stronger than before. You should. Aiden, you should always do some BuzzFeed test when you're bored. Always. So one of the things, right, that we have right here is, let's do that, is these. And this is a very Japanese inspired thing. Design a window for people to upload their business logo to. That's a very simple and also difficult, potentially difficult thing. So do you need help on that? Or nah? You can say no. But it's a pretty easy-ish thing. Why 20 gig? It's too much. It's like thumbnails and all that. So that's an interesting way of seeing the thing, but also it wouldn't work. Good. The main thing that I would say to you, Scott, is remember that uploading something is native to most browsers, and most computers have native upload or loading thing. So do not think too much about like the amount of complexity in that thing. If that helps. Doesn't really help, but it can. This is an interesting-ish thing. I wouldn't use that red, to be honest. I would probably go with something like this, but that's the same base, right? It's not. I don't like it. I do not like it. I do like these though, but that's difficult to achieve with the letters that we have. This is cool though. This is very cool. Might be too difficult to achieve and also too difficult to read from further away. Why do you say lol, Scott? Why? What are you lolling at? I really want to have like something that makes sense, right? Oh, I designed one of these. This is a good base. Okay, fine. This is a good overall like base for W. And I did one of these at some point, which is pretty nice. The color is good. We used to be orange, so I don't want to go back to orange. That wouldn't like match with me. But have a good dinner. Have a good dinner. Is that a thing? Can I do that? Turns out I can't. I like the overall shapes right here, and so as always when I create shapes similar to this, I don't use the corners, like the rounding of corners. I tend to avoid that because it's easier afterward to get the corners you want with the tool itself. However, this one would need one of these. Right, so now you can just take that and just bump the radius and then bring it back to the shape. And most of them may have the same amount of radius, so we can just take everything here and put that to 12 to check, and it seems to be the opposite. So this one needs to be a bit bigger, as in 13, and this one may need to be at 13 or 14 as well. Right, that's an okay duplicate. They have this transition in the middle that I guess is a bit better. But then if I do that, I pull that here, this point right there. Have a good look, Scott. Can then go back in. That gave us basically the same thing. But yeah, as I said, I did one of these somewhere in that file. I don't remember in which page, because they have too many pages in here. I think it's in research page. It should be. It may be. Yeah, so we did these at some point with a bit of radius as well, which I was thinking was a good idea, but it turned out to be a bit less readable than I expected it to be. And like some of the thing that I want to avoid, because like I can't avoid everything, but I kind of want to avoid some type of comparison. Davey, hi, welcome on in. Thank you. These are one of my favorite. Because they have like this tiny blue top. That is pretty cool. So, right, if you type W logo design, you arrive on a ton of things that are very, like, I guess all shapes have been done for all letters anyways, so that's difficult. But also I don't want to use a very known similar things. Like this one is really similar to what I did. This is like very close, but this is a very luxury based logo. So it's like a W based logo would be very difficult for me. I mean, difficult. Difficult to find something that is not already existing and that doesn't exactly look like one of our competitor or similar products on the market. Because like we don't do project management, but it's similar to project management in some of the type of thing that we do. And so if you know Monday, right, the logo for Monday, which is very close to my personal logo, right, the A and the end of the M is very close. I have designed at some point, of course, inspired by my personal logo. I have done these as a W, right? Because that's an easy fix for W, and then I tried it the other way to not be as close to Monday as it is, but I mean, a bit weird. So I need saturation to be at 0. That's a very interesting thing. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. So that, yeah, I don't want to have like a very similar to Monday thing, but also we kind of need to have the brain it on top, which is okay. Crowdsourcing with the same lettering thing is just ugh. Like, would you understand sourcing? I don't think you would understand sourcing right here. I think workflow is okay. Sony, that's too much cash. Like, I guess that's an okay-ish thing to read, even though still difficult. This one, however, is just impossible to understand. I can't for the life of me explain this. Like that would make absolutely no sense. So that works, but still not great. I mean, you already have a ton of movies and shows, right? So in a way, it's like a bit of a proofing thing that you're doing in order to make sure. But still, that's a lot. That is a lot. So the name that we done is Brain It and then the thing. So that works, but I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to check this one because I love the color of black and blue. It's a pretty cool thing. And usually when someone on Behance has a pretty cool project, they have more pretty cool project. You know what? That could be a good idea. Would you say a decreasing as it goes through, or decreasing as just the sourcing being like it needs to be somehow? Sorry for the flashbang. Somehow I got an ID, but that would be too many. No, that's a bad ID. I will try it anyways, but that's a bad ID for sure. For fucking sure. Interesting. Nah, that doesn't work. However, this is okay. Not good. Not good, but okay. Like matching-ish this. It kind of works. It kind of works. If you align with the top line, you... First of all, you can't really, with the way that this one has been made. I mean, if I move one up, we are too high to be considered as on point, and we can't really go one down because we are... Oh, can do that. One more point, 17 or 19, sorry. I don't think Smiley, hi. Well, come on in. There has been good. There has been good. Working a weird logo right now, which I don't think... I don't think it's a good idea. It may be just a font issue, to be honest, but that's an okay option compared to this one, for sure. I'm more so thinking about doing this. Shit. Good start here, to be honest. We should do that this way. That would be much easier. I don't think that's a good idea. It's just a test. How's the BuzzFeed quiz? To be frank, that is exactly the amount of styles that we have. But remember, right? The thing would be visible at basically this size, and so that's one of the reasons why I don't really play with these amounts of font sizes. I mean, right now, right? Like that might be a bit tiny, specifically if you're on mobile, but basically what it would be. So this is readable-ish, and then the C, N, and G. If you are someone that have like a bit of a vision impairment, I mean, easily will lose the readability of this. So that's one of the reasons why I do like these things, because like from here or from here, even if you are seeing this, the R might disappear, but it's still fucking readable. So I like that. Sadly, we don't have a lot of width currently. The width that we want to have. Thanks a lot for the tab. Appreciate it. The width that we want to have is like this one, 145 usually, and so this one is like 182 already, and this one is like 275, and so currently this one is like 190 maybe. This one is like 180, so we can't really go past, like usually it was placed here, so the max that we could have was 208, which is already a bit big. But now what happened here is we get a new header type of thing. So currently that's our base, right? And what I don't like about this one specifically is the fact that visually the alignment is wrong. So if I go to my regular logo, right, technically speaking it's a centered align to the content, so that makes a lot of sense. However, when I move to this, it's still visually centered, but it's not exactly centered. So, I mean, it's not exactly visually centered. Yeah, I need to test it out. What's my center here? I have 15. No, it is centered. It is basically centered. Like it's a 14 by 14. So there is like a 1 pixel difference, which can be just tweaked by this being up. But I have like 4 in the middle, which is what I wanted to have. But yeah, that's basically centered. So that's okay. We could visually align it up just for the sake of it, but I don't think that would help in any ways. However, going for purely big ass black letters, then yeah, we may need to like do that. But still. Right, that's better line, but still not that good. So difficult. That's a difficult thing. The next step in my research usually is to go on Dribble and do the same thing that I did on Pinterest, right? So in here, looking for startup, and then just looking at the landscape on Dribble. What is a startup website? And what's that result? Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely what you said earlier. You said center-ish. And you are like basically true center. Progressive, not libertarian, not anything. Send me the link of that that quiz. We can do that on stream. We can see where I stand. It'd be interesting. If you haven't closed it already. But yeah. So startup right here, we have a lot of these colors that will pop in. There's a lot. One minute quiz, that's pretty. It's a very simple thing. Sex between consenting adults. Yeah. That's a very American questionnaire, to be honest. That's a very American questionnaire, and I mean, it's a very simple questionnaire, to be honest. Oi, fuck off. Thank you. Yeah, a bit on the progressive side. And that, I guess that's because of the maybe. But the latest test for progressive, interesting. Like, weird thing, but yeah, that I mean, that's basically what I expected. So, aligned. That's a nice emote. That's a nice dancing emote. And back to this. I mean, we were here. So there is a lot of grey, there is a lot of black, and there is a lot of colors, right? So that doesn't give you any insight on anything. However, if you were to go into startup logo, fuck, that nose is itchy. There is this, and I love the font here. There's this one that we've seen last week, but I kind of like the font as well. And there is this thing that I kind of talked about without really talking about it, which is the perceived feeling or the perceived behavior. So a narrow font, there is one that I love, which is just above right here. I love these types of fonts, but that wouldn't really match with the company itself. So kind of need to think about those things to make sure that the logo makes sense. But I think, yeah, that's a very similar thing. Yeah, I can explain so many. I don't know if I want to. I like that. All right, so I love these fonts. That's some of the new trends right now. A lot of people are using these that are sans serif with a twist. The twist being we went back to the older style of G, and also they have like a lot of character in terms of, for example, the eyes. The dots on the eyes are not dots. The R is going very low, whereas regular R and other fonts would stop at the I. It's called an I of the E, the hole on the E, right? So all of these things that add character to the font itself. However, thanks a lot for that. You can see that their logo, Samuel, hi. Their logo is very thin compared to the text that they use. So,
Samuel Charpentier just resubscribed for 9 months.
9 months, you too. Sub baby, you have all the responsibilities. I don't take responsibilities for that. But welcome back for 9 months. That why? Why? Appreciate it a lot. This one is interesting as well. It's a very similar, simple logo. However, they used the mark for the app icon. I don't know if I like. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. And so this is what I was about to say, right? This digital art guide, DAG, same thing. What I like about these types of fonts is the fact that it's condensed. However, condensed fonts have a very specific perceived association by people. It's a very strict and narrow type of business because the font itself is narrow. So if your product has like a friendly behavior, or the company is a friendly behavior, a friendly company on itself, and then you have like a narrow, very specific work area, right? A very specific thing. Then you could use something that is narrow and straight. However, our product does basically like portfolio project and innovation, but also there is a ton of other sub features that I haven't listed here that is making the thing not so narrow anymore. So I don't exactly know if one of these could work. I would love to, but I don't know. And then there is these things, which is very geometric fonts for the logo itself. I like it, but I would love to have it a bit more like heavy, as I did on this one. And then here, this one I kept it for the overall shape. And it could be interesting, as always, right? Startups, hexagons, that matches. Makes a lot of sense. Aiden, I agree. But you should see the you should see the iPad app, because it doesn't exist, and that's fun. We go back to the original thing that I said earlier, right? The 3 layers on top of each other. That's matching as well. So I'm doing this because of the W, and also trying to find a way to get what I want working. So working with shapes like these could help, as in, let's lock that layer so I can't overlap. We could, or you could, as a person, see things like this, for example. Right? That's a W, basically, based on this. I mean, you don't have to. Why do you say you have to? So that's one potential W, I guess, which is interesting. Resize it to take half the space would give us this, which is not good, but it's interesting. Yeah. But that's not using the app. That's communicating through the app, which is a bit different, right? Or at least it is to me. You also go with something like this. That is, I don't know if you see the same thing as me. I don't think you do. But I see such a Dr. Disrespect type of glasses, right? Like a visor thingy. That's not what we wanted. Why did I go for this? Because of you. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I get it, but still. Oh, that's a very cute thing. I love that as well. That's something that I thought about as a base, right? Getting a W based on this. So very similar to the Apple Hello. Could be interesting, but also if I do that, that means that everything needs to have this same exact lettering style, which is a bit difficult. What's the name of the font? Because I downloaded one of them. This one? No. uh, that way. So yeah, I guess we want to have something, a feeling that is related or similar to this. So that's why we have like a rounded-ish fonts. And so this, if you get rid of the top section, right, is just a font. It's one font which seems to be garnet, and that's all. And they just use that. I don't know if that exists. Doesn't. Why is... I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this fucking logo. I've been working on this thing for a long ass time and I'm still unsure about, right? When you look at this, which one stands out? If you... Like if I were to do this, that's one of the exercises that we do from time to time. If I were to do this and get rid of the color scheme, which one really, for real, stand out? Yeah, I used to have this at some point. Depends on how many likes you put on things. Or maybe someone limited you. That could be a thing as well. But yeah, going back to this. Like, which one stands out to you? I mean, for me, I have like a very specific view on things, and so of course I'm biased, but basically 3 of them stand out in terms of how they look, and the 3s are this one, and somehow this one. These are the three that stand out. So first of all, this one stands out because it's a full caps or small cap logo. This one, the D, is a very specific thing that matches with how this Google Drive ripoff is. And then this one stand out because it's not aligned. that's what stand off to me. Not because it's good or anything. It's just like it has 2 pixels of differentiation between the 2 fonts, and that makes no sense. The rest of the logos, if you look at them from a bit further away, they are most likely all the same. So even though it's not the same font for anything, it's basically the same logo for everything. And then if you bring back the saturation, right? And so then you can get rid of these. They all, most of them have blue-green tints, right? Blue-green, 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 blue. Blue-purple, blue, blue-green, blue, blue-green, blue. So most of them have blue colors for logos, and then the font is just very, very, very similar. I like the chain thingy right here. However, it's not readable. As soon as I'm here, you can't read it anymore. So that's a difficult thing. That is a difficult thing. I clicked on the wrong link. Oh, you were unfollowing. That's interesting. It's not what you expect to happen, but I get it. I'd love to have this. I'd love to play with these things. It's not working in my head right now. It doesn't. That helps. I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same. But I follow too many people. I wish I could. I just have a habit of following people. That's easy. And then when I go back to get rid of things, I don't know. And there are people in there that I could absolutely get rid of. Specifically these ones. I don't know, like old accounts. But yeah. What do you mean I can get rid of you? It's also very interesting to how does Instagram showcase things. I don't know if I'm following you. I don't think I am. I think I am following you on TikTok, not on Instagram. But yeah, basically same. See, like most people will do this with a W, which pisses me off. I don't want that. I do love this one though. That's a nice W, which is based on this one, this font. And then this is what I used to do for logos. Very, very rounded logos, which worked, but not so good. However, this is better in my views. And then I saw this one and I was like, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. How does that match if you do that's the base. I don't know if it's to get more followers, but TikTok is great. Biased, but TikTok is great. That's a bit That's a bit wide for W, but that could be interesting. But then if I do that, we get the same issue that we had before. With the other one. So I like that as a W, but it also doesn't match with the rest of the platform, which at the moment pisses me off. I really love this. I also love the fully... Wait, there are just two O's that I got rid of, right? Oh, you mean you get views for no reason? I mean, the algorithm of TikTok is very simple. And I'm saying very simple, but it's like the way it works is it sends your video to a small pool of like 200 people. It's usually 200 to 300 people. And depending on their reaction to the thing, they will spread it to 1,000 people. If this 1,000 people have a positive reaction to it, it will send it to more. And so it's not really for no reason, it's just for reasons that are not the usual ones. But yeah, I get it. I need a pee. Give me 2 minutes. You got more views than me on your videos. That is impressive. Let's connect that. I mean, I do, but also I don't. I do focus on Twitch, but at the same time, I'm trying to not focus on YouTube, but also like not focusing on YouTube. So making sure that everything that I do on Twitch is also accessible to YouTube, and at the same time creating highlighted section of videos to post on YouTube. Worked on 2 of them this weekend. One of them that I haven't posted yet because the VOD will come out today, or tomorrow. And then there is another one that I need to work on entirely, but yeah. I haven't seen anything from your Twitch channel. What you mean playing? Oh yeah. I mean, you try to have everything set up, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But also, I mean, before you can have most of the thing of Twitch, I mean, you need to be live for a bit or have a massing following elsewhere, which is an option. There is a shadow right there. Why? Why? Interesting. So yeah, this was interesting flow. I knew that would happen. Yeah. You're planning ahead, that's good. I like the G here, but we don't have a G on workflow. We have a G on crowdsourcing, and also it's at the end, but it could help. This W thingy makes sense, it's the same color. This W as well is something that is very used as a base W, because you get a square at the end, so that's pretty cool. I do love these things, but that's a very personal signature type of logo. I don't think that works for what I'm trying to achieve. And yeah, to also bounce on what you just said, the first stream is always scuffed, for sure. However, you can do your best before that to not have it scuffed. But I would recommend it to be very bad. Because that will help. For example, there is something that I'm doing. I mean, don't make it bad, but just don't try to have everything set up and done and good and perfect before you start. That's what what I meant. Because it will help you in the long run. But yeah, one thing that I'm doing right now, which is giving me one more views on my videos on YouTube, but also me learning things, is I'm rewatching the entirety of a stream and I'm picking up on things that I'm saying or things that I'm like doing, stuff like the volume of the music and the volume of the voice not being exactly at the level that I wish it could have been. These things are really helpful for the long run for me personally, to say, well, this could have been improved and this could have been improved as well. And then from time to time also having like other thing, making sure that, for example, I think it was a week ago, one of the streams we had 3 to 4 alerts before I noticed that there was no sound on the alert side, but the rest was good. So yeah, to be honest, I mean, you know probably what I'm about to say, but if you want to start streaming, I wouldn't recommend Twitch. Not like if you want to start streaming games, I don't recommend Twitch. I mean, if you want to start streaming in general, I don't right now really recommend Twitch as a platform. So I really recommend you to stream on YouTube now, mainly because, so that's another thing that I discovered this weekend. The algorithm for VODs on YouTube that are recording of past live streams have an entirely different algorithm tied to them. So they are pushed to people more than the stream itself. And if you stream the thing and then you keep the VOD or the recording on YouTube, then you may have more views after the stream than during the stream. And then the difference with what I'm doing is, because I'm streaming here and then I send the video to YouTube, it behaved like a regular video. And so like YouTube algorithm has a hard time to recommend a video of 5 hours to someone because it's a video. However, when it's a recorded stream, they push it because they understand it was a stream in the first place. So if you start streaming on YouTube, you will have the ability to stream, not be discovered exactly as expected, but still be a bit discovered. And then when you stop streaming, have your video still stays up for an unlimited amount of time and be discovered while you are not live. And then when you come back live, the people who have clicked on the previously recorded stream will be kind of notified in a way that you are live also, because they already clicked and watched a portion of the previous stream. Rather than Twitch, you don't watch VODs, most likely. I mean, there are people who watch VODs, but most likely there is like a limited use case for VODs. And even though we have the highlight feature, it's not exactly useful because people don't watch VODs. Maybe clips from time to time, but I don't know. I really think that currently streaming on YouTube or starting on YouTube would be much better because you get a lot more interesting perks. It comes later, like everything that is monetization and all of that comes later through the program. However, it's way more interesting, and so like if you're just starting, I really think that you shouldn't start on Twitch, and I don't think you should multi-stream either. So streaming on both is a good idea, but also it's a bad idea. Because as I said last time, it is you start on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and whatever at the same time, and some people will discover you from different platforms, and then the one that you've touched or reached from platform 1 is probably never gonna convert into the platform 2 if you decide to go with platform 2. So basically you're creating a base audience on multiple platforms at the same time, and then once you decide on which one you want to keep, you just neglect the other one, and so they just leave. So I just wouldn't recommend multi-streaming unless you already have an audience, which is a weird thing. But like I would do, if I were to start tomorrow as a new streamer, I would start on YouTube, and then when I have enough people on YouTube, I would multi-stream on Twitch at the same time, but coming from YouTube first. And the reasoning behind this would be you have your YouTube channel in which you stream, in which you post videos and things that are useful for people, or not useful but entertaining people that want to watch that. And then when they have like the habits of coming to your YouTube channel and watching videos, watching streams, watching things, you can stream on Twitch at the same time as a non-affiliate person to just reach more platforms, because you already have your audience on YouTube, and so you don't need to neglect one of them. You will stay on YouTube anyways. So I really think personally you shouldn't you shouldn't start on Twitch right now. That's the right now is the main important thing. It's just, it's good, it's not great. And so I can't just recommend it. I don't know. You have 4 subscribers on YouTube because you have done nothing on YouTube. Like when I started Twitch, I had no followers either, and it grew. Doesn't mean it was like more than 0. It was 0 at the beginning. So like on my YouTube channel right now, I have, I think 12. So I don't know. Not like the number of followers prior to you starting shouldn't matter. However, the marketing that you decide to do on where you want to go right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's one of the reasons why I'm here, right? It's at the start, when I decided to start streaming at some point, I said, let's check out like the platforms in which you can stream. So I checked YouTube, I checked Twitch, I checked Facebook, I checked Restreamed, and another one, and check the viability of the platform themselves and where I feel more at in place in a way. And so in terms of just streaming, it made no sense to me to go to Facebook or to stream on multiple platforms for the reason that I said earlier. However, streaming on Twitch is not exactly making a lot of sense either. It's I don't know, it makes sense because when you think about streaming, Twitch comes up, but that's all. And the thing is, when you think about streaming and Twitch, you think about gaming. So if you don't expect or don't plan to do gaming streams, it's a bit more difficult, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. And then the reason, or one other reason that I decided to go with Twitch is because I had so many subs already and so many channels that I was watching at the time that made sense for me to stay here in this ecosystem. But with the decline of features and updates and all of these things that they tried to or are trying to do, even though Oli is telling us that there will be some interesting updates for creators soon, I don't know. So far, all the changes haven't been positive. For the creator side, it's interesting financially, but for the viewer side, it's not interesting at all. It made me run more ads than before. It makes me stream more often, kinda, so that I can run more ads, and then I get nothing compared to before from the ads. So yeah. And that's the thing, if you don't believe in Twitch long term, why do you spend or waste time into building something on the Twitch platform that you don't believe in? And that's basically why I'm creating the YouTube channel and the VODs and all the thing to potentially get more people to get there and then make a switch at some point, unless Twitch becomes profitable for themselves and don't decide to close shop, which should happen. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah. I kind of want to do that. I don't know if it's a good idea.
Sing With Me is now following.
With me. Hi. Well, come on in. Thanks a lot for the follow. I have a question, which is, who are you? How are you? How did you find the stream? I want to know. You arrive at the end, to be honest. I am about to end in the next 5 minutes. Probably. But thanks a lot for the follow, I appreciate it. I am debating. Not streaming until midnight again, no. No. Not happening. Not happening. And I think I will slowly send you to Matt, because that would be the first time, and he's just starting. So if you want to listen to metal and like things like this, right, could be interesting. So I send you to Matt. That would be the first time. As always, this is the end of the stream, so if you enjoyed your stay, please click the follow button. That would be highly appreciated. If you want to have more insight on design and other things, feel free to join the Discord. We share a lot of articles and insight and helps directly in there, so you can join on that link. If you're a sub, this is the raid message for subs. If you're a non-sub, this is the raid message for non-subs. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to the channel, but I don't need that. However, if you want to support me another way, you can buy the UI kit, Gumroad, or some NFTs on Foundation if you want to. If you don't want to, don't do that. And then, yeah. So Matthew K. Effie is the lead singer guitarist of Trivium, and so usually play music. So we'll see what he does today, which I think it's midday for them, and I will go for food. That's the goal. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. As always, I will be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. UTC for more design stuff. I hope to see you then, and yeah, take care of yourself. I will see you soon. Bye.